It's incredible. So let's talk about this balloon one that just came out because that's, I think, next level
No,
and viral shit. Yeah, how did what the fuck? Basically, what the
yeah,
fuck?
yeah. So yeah, this one was like I first thought about this one the start of like lockdown, when no one was going anywhere or that, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just use this time as like fuel and see what's no one done before. And like I was fucking pedaling up a hill behind my house, and there's like a massive river that flows down it. And I was thinking, have you ever seen that video of Bob Burnquist skating that floating mini ramp in like a lake?
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. I don't know why. And then I was like, fuck, looking at the sky, and I was like, shit, imagine like a floating skate park. That'd be fucking cool. And then originally thought I was like, oh, it probably need to be like a Chinook helicopter that can lift it because they can lift like tanks and stuff like that. So I
Yeah.
was like, that could work. But then I thought after I jumped out of the helicopter in Dubai, it was too windy. It was like fucking tornado. So I was like, you couldn't ride it. And then I thought, oh fuck, hot air balloon could work because they don't fly in wind really.
For
So
real.
yeah, so I got to the top of the hill, put it in my notes on my phone, rode down the hill, sketched up some shitty little stick men drawings, sent it to my RedBull manager. He was like, fucking hell, this is sick. Like, that's fucking, see how far we can take it. Didn't hear anything for like 6 months. And then he called me. He's like, how serious are you about doing this? Because I'm out in Austria and everyone here wants to see you do it. And I was like, I'd fucking, yeah, mate, fucking get me a hot air balloon. Let's go and do it. But originally I wanted to do a behind the scenes of my learning how to skydive, and I wanted to jump outside of it and fucking pull the shit.
Oh shit.
But they were saying that it would take at least 6 months to get your license, but you need so many hundred jumps. I can't remember how fucking many it is. It's a lot. And also the height that I was at, you need to be like a pro skydiver or base jumper because I was just above 2,000 feet. So you need to know your shit,
Yeah.
and I clearly don't. So it's a bit of a shame. And then I didn't want to ride it either with a parachute on because I was like, people are going to think I'm going to jump out the side of it and be gutted when I don't. So I was like, I can't ride with that on. But they were like, you cannot get in there without it on. If you fall over the side, you're going to die. And I was like, I'm not going to fall over the side. I was like, I know more. But yeah. So anyway, I had to ride with that on. But a lot of people don't know, but that thing weighed like 15% of my own body weight. It was fucking heavy, man. It was
Damn.
real heavy. And it was all
The
just
the parachute. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And all the weight was just on your back. So when you're doing like flares and try to do anything, it's just fucking horrible,
Different.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the bowl also fucking swung. You can't really see it that much, but it's moving. So it's almost like riding drunk. Like just
Just everything's a little off. Just moving
yeah.
and the weight being back is like, ooh.
I'll go back to the yeah. So anyway, we done the it got signed off and we got the green light. So I sat down with George Eccleston, the guy that designs all my shit really that I want to do. And instead of doing like a normal boring bowl, I was like, why don't we do curve wall ride and like a channel gap and a hip and then like a tombstone. So crammed so much stuff into it. The trannies were really tight as well, a lot tighter than like normal trannies. And the bowl was only 5 feet deep. But I feel like we crammed as much in as what we could and made it as best as we could have. I don't think we could have made it any better. But yeah, so we built one out of wood, but that ended up weighing 6.5 tons, so fucking heavy.
Yeah.
So we couldn't actually fly that. You can't float that up there that easy. So then oh shit, sorry,
How do
somebody.
you weigh a skate park? What kind of scale can you put that shit on? That's like, how do you know it weighs 6.5 tons?
Yeah, sorry, dogs are crazy at the door. There's a
It's
guy
all
at the
good.
door. Fuck. But yeah, hopefully just leaves that out there. But yeah, so then yes, so back to it. It was 6.5 tons, so it was real heavy. Then we went to RedBull Racing because they design the Formula One cars and they're the best at what they do. And it was all carbon fiber they work with. And they were like, yeah, I reckon that we could actually
Make a
we could
skate
do it.
park.
Yeah, yeah. So they took on the challenge and they smashed the shit out of it. It was I think they had it done like I can't remember what the turnaround time was, but it was real quick. They had it turned around real quick, and the full thing was made out of carbon. I couldn't believe it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, mate. Honestly, it was the weirdest thing to ride though. So I went down to see it at Red Bull Racing in Milton Keynes, and it was all built up. and I got in it, but it felt like a trampoline. The base of it was so, because it's so thin. It's like that thin, tiny,
Yeah.
and it looks like you could just put a peg through it or something. So I was like, shit, this looks fucking gnarly, as if it could just smash and I could fall out the bottom. But
Yeah.
yeah, but I got in and I had a walk around it. It felt like a trampoline. It was flexing. I got on my bike and I had a roll around on it, and it rolled like faster than concrete and faster than wood. It was so fucking weird, honestly.
That is weird.
Yeah,
I've
but it was.
never I've never ridden on carbon fiber before. Like,
Oh, yeah, it's weird. I think there's a reason why. But yeah, so yeah, and that weighed 2.7 tons, so they shaved the shitload off it. And from there, we also built a hot air balloon that was, I think it's the biggest in the UK. It stands at 43 meters high.
wow.
Yeah, so we had to get something that big to fucking lift the bowl.
Yeah.
And then from there, we wanted to do this project in the UK as well because I don't know, I just like to be fucking UK landscape. And but the weather shit over here, as a lot of you'll know. And
Yeah.
so you're waiting around for this wind speed that comes around once a year, and it usually comes around in winter time. And I can't remember what it is. It's like not point, not fucking in one direction. Fuck knows. But so I was on standby for a full year. I couldn't go on any trips, couldn't go on any BSD trips, couldn't do anything, couldn't even go on holiday with the missus because I'd only know sometimes 24 hours before if we were,
Wow, dude.
yeah,
That's crazy.
if we were flying the next day. So yeah, a lot of waiting around. Ended up almost like hating it at one point because I was like, this is fucking never gonna happen.
Yeah.
And
It's just keeping you locked in your house, basically.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, fuck, this is shit. So yeah, but yeah, on the 9th of December, it came around and I couldn't believe it. We were going down there, but we'd never even tested it. No one's ever done that before. So it's like, is it gonna fall from there? What the fuck's gonna happen?
For real.
Yeah, and like also, is it gonna move? Is it gonna swing loads more up there, or is it gonna be solid? Like no one knew. So, and also how we're gonna land it. We knew roughly an idea of how we'd land it, but we didn't know if it was gonna dig in and just flip and kill us all. So
Fuck, dude.
it was
There's a lot that goes into this, dude. That's
a
nuts.
shitload. Yeah, and
Yeah.
like working with a pilot, and we had two helicopters filming it. Like it was fucking. And if you fuck it up, if you mess a trick up, the helicopters need to reset from around there, so it takes like a minute to come round.
Wow.
Then I only had 35 minutes up there to do everything that I wanted to do as well. So there was a lot of pressure on, and it was also -7. It was fucking freezing.
I believe it. You're in the fucking sky, dude.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, there was a lot.
How did it feel when you got the call? Like, all right, tomorrow's the day.
I didn't believe it because it was like the amount of times I flew down or drove down, and I got there and we started blowing the balloon up, and the pilot's like, "Nah, too windy," and I'm like, "It's not. There's no wind. Like, let's just do it." And yeah, so I didn't really. I was all right until we were actually hooked up and fuck, we were going, and it went quick. It took off and it fucking went quick. So
where are you when you take off? You're in the basket or are you in the skate park?
I'm in the basket.
Okay.
Had to like abseil down, and then I had to at the end clip on and then get zip wired back up into it. But
It's so nuts, dude.
it was cool, and like definitely, it was one of those ones where I was fucking just looked around for a minute when I was up there, and this is fucking like crazy. Like through riding that bike, you get to do shit like this that I would never have thought in a million years from being a kid I'd be able to fucking get these opportunities. So
Shit straight out of a dream. It's crazy.
honestly, and it just seems to fucking keep fucking coming. Long may it continue.
Oh man. So trippy, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck. So you're into skydiving? This is just rewatching it is like, okay, word. This is insane. What I mean, action. What's the scariest part of that? Doing trick wise?
Probably the ice pick, because I was worried that I was gonna, because you can't see it, but it's moving a lot. Even my drone pilot, he was like, he's fucking so good at that shit, and he was like, I don't know how you're riding that, because he's like, I can't even fly between the back rail. He's like, it's moving up and down so fucking much.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm telling you, it's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, and I don't think there'll be anything harder than that. I swear to God, honestly, it's the hardest fucking thing I've ever rode in my life. But
Fucking amazing.
you'd push into it and it would just go away from you, and then you'd case the other side or something. It's a fucking nightmare. But and you can't train for that because you can't just hang a bowl for a full day somewhere. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like you can't do that. But yeah, anyway, the ice pick was scary because I was more worried that I'd have missed my back peg and went under the railing and then flew and then fell under it. But
Dude, I'm looking at the ice pick again right now, and it's just like the adrenaline that you must have going on right there is like insane.
Had to do it twice as well.
Why? What?
Fuck the film. So I had to do it twice. So,
Action and action again. Do the scary, life threatening, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like it's just autopilot. You just need to just fucking just go.
Yeah.
Just
What goes through your brain before like getting into something like, because this is different than, you know, like filming a video part where you're at the spot, you got your homies, and this is like action. You're an action star basically at this point.
Yeah,
you know?
it's like a movie or something. But yeah, I guess it's just I visualize all this shit over and over and over and over and over and over in my head. Like throughout any project, I can visualize exactly how it's all going to work, and every single trick I call out, and I just 9 times out of 10 it goes and it feels exactly the way it should. But yeah, I do have my friends there. I'm lucky enough to work alongside a lot of them that do shit like build stuff for me, or we're in the basket and they're like, fucking do it. Okay. And then yeah, so yeah, man. But and I remember doing the front flip, the fakey front flip. But even the hardest part about that was just going backwards, because it was like riding along like a waterbed or something like that. It was so fucking nervy. Yeah. So you had to 180. It was like, whoa, where am I? And it's like, fuck it, just go.
Fuck it.
Yeah, and then I remember like I landed up, so thank God. But my mate George, he was up in the basket. He's like, "Fucking yeah!" I just go crazy. I was like, "Yes, man!" Like,
Reached the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed that clip. If you want to support me and the podcast, just subscribe and share the show with your friends. The full episode is in the description, so if you haven't, go check that out. It's also available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and wherever you listen to podcasts. And the goal is just to grow. So if you could share the show with your BMX homies, that'd be dope. If anybody that you know that is a BMX nerd and would enjoy this podcast, do me that favor, and we'll keep all these clips coming and one episode every week. So I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.